Hey guys, we're on Eubanks Street in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and this is the Giant Lumberjack. This big lumberjack with a chainsaw was carved in 1984. It's hard to believe. Yeah, it's hard to believe they did that with a chainsaw, huh?
Yeah.
The detail is pretty amazing on this. All right, guys, we're on Eubanks Street Northeast in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we have another roadside attraction here. This is the Owl Cafe. It was built in 1986, and the interior of this building is done in 1950s style. The exterior is done in 1920s California style, but it's got neon for eyes. Bet this really lights up pretty at night. The neon is actually on right now, but it's not quite dark enough to really make out the detail. But it is a really unusual looking place. Very popular cafe here in Albuquerque, and very unusual. We're standing at the corner of Louisiana and Central in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and this is the Muffler Man Bunyan Mutant. His arms fell off and his axe fell to the ground. We actually just spoke with somebody who was here when it happened. They were very close to the axe when it hit the ground. But a lot of people ask, why would this Muffler Man, or what does he have to do with the Vietnamese cafe that is being advertised underneath him? Well, originally in the early 60s there was a lumber yard here, and they had him placed here to advertise their lumber shop. Years later, when the Vietnamese cuisine restaurant moved here, they took advantage of a grandfather clause and were allowed to keep the lumberjack sign as an advertisement and roadside attraction for their cafe. Now, here locally, I guess there's a large Cuban community in the area, and among the Cubans, they call this lumberjack Fidel because of his uncanny look like Fidel Castro. So anyhow, he's been a very popular attraction here since the early 60s, and his arms are back on and he's got his axe back, and he looks like he's in really good shape now. Okay, gang, we are at the corner of Highland and Jackson in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we found a sea serpent. This sea serpent has definitely seen better days. In fact, he has several war wounds along his body. But this is pretty cool. This is the pool parking lot of Highland High School. And it looks like they didn't complete this portion here going over the top, probably because they had to fit school buses through here. It is pretty cool though that the students built this, and it's still here almost 50 years later. And this was the sea serpent's head. Not much left of it. I guess his name is Scott because there's a big black Scott written on it. How many students do you think have sat inside of there, Janet?
Oh my gosh. That's hundreds. And this poor baby's about gone.
Yeah, he is. The name of this sculpture is Cruisin San Mateo. However, it is popularly known around town as the Chevy on a stick. It was erected as part of a street widening project on Gibson Boulevard at San Mateo, and it looks like a early to mid Chevy Bel Air sitting up on top, and it's completely covered in tile. That is pretty cool. And it appears that there's a hole right through the middle of it. Go around to the other side so you can see the other side of it. That's pretty neat. Now, is it a real car up there underneath that tile? I have no idea.
No way.
But that is pretty cool. See if I can get the whole thing in the photo here. There you go. And even the walkway looks like a road with tile in the middle of it separating the lanes. That's pretty neat. If that is not a real car that's covered with tile, then whoever did this sculpture did a really good job, because that bumper looks authentic. All right, gang, we're at 3501 Monte Vista Boulevard, and this home is known as the Bug House. It is also called the Spaceship House. It was built by designer Bart Prince, who was a protege of Frank Lloyd Wright. Isn't that an unusual place? Now, it also, in front of the home, has a couple of dinosaurs, sculptures, that appear to be guarding the property. Isn't that cool though? I love when people go crazy with their designs. Let's see if we can't get you some other angles of it here. What a neat property though. That is really cool. I'm going to walk you around the side of this property so that we can get a side view of it. This home has a stairway here that I'll show you that goes up to the chimney or a turret that is pretty unique too. Isn't that cool? I love it when people express their imaginations in their homes. You can see the staircase going up to the turret up there. Incredible. I just don't know how somebody has the ingenuity to design something like this. We're going to show you the house next door also, because it's almost as unique. It's the back side of the property that we're at now. All right, I'm gonna take you next door and show you the one next door here. The one next door, this is the house next door now. It has some unusual artwork out front also. And this home here was built in a cantilever style. You can see this little balcony on the front of the property upstairs. The bottom half is done in adobe and stucco. And the top half is done in stucco also, but it looks almost like it's steel. Wow, the imagination of some people, it's amazing. It makes for a nice roadside attraction though. We're at the corner of Indian School Road and Carlisle Boulevard, and we're in the Whole Foods parking lot, and we have found a giant red arrow that appears to be stuck inside of this rock foundation. This thing, I've heard people say it was about 20 feet tall. That's a lot taller than 20 feet. I'd say that thing is a good 40 feet up in the air. That's the tip of it up there. That is a monster. So either this was put here to draw people in, or else there used to be some really big Indians out in this area. That thing is a monster. That thing is huge. Show you guys just how big this is. Now Janet is about 5'4" tall. And there she is. So yeah, I'd say that thing is at least 40 feet tall. That thing is huge. It's right on the corner here. You can see right behind us is the Whole Foods market off in the distance there. We found a really cool roadside attraction here. This is Madonna, the Virgin of the Tree. And we are at 2005 North Plaza Street Northwest in Albuquerque in Old Town. This carving was done in 1970 by a parishioner of the Catholic Church here, which is a 300-year-old church. And this was actually carved behind the church, and it has been moved here to the front corner where the church sits. And some people believe that this is a haunted tree because it seems to change slightly, but it's actually just the nature of the tree getting older. So anyhow, this is really cool. It's right here in Old Town. And I'll show you the church here if I can get the camera turned around and zoom in. You can see the top of the church here. It's right over here. But isn't that neat? We are on Rio Bravo Boulevard and University, and this is a giant rattlesnake in the median of the highway. This thing is massive and scary looking. He's 200 feet long. And as we walk around him, I have to watch for actual rattlesnakes. But this thing is massive.
Well, you can see I'm what, 5'2", 5'3", I'm 5'4".
Yeah, so it's probably 4 feet high on the body part anyway, but the head is a good 7 feet high.
Yeah.
And this median does not have water access, so instead of putting a lot of plant life here, they decided to put this ugly beast. And like I said, it is 200 feet long. Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It is. Look at the back of this guy's head. It's all done in stone and concrete. I wonder how many accidents they've had here because of this thing. And Janet walked all the way up to the end of his tail to get a photo, and look how far away she is. That is 200 feet long.
Strange RV tours will take you places with Greg and Janet's smiling faces. You might see a crazy flavored soda review or some tips to fix your RV too. So come along, won't you join us, friend, as we discover what's around the bend. Just sit right back in your easy chair. Strange RV Tours is on the air. Strange RV Tours is on.